Hey, welcome back to another episode in this little AR agreements series. And in this video, I want to talk about the authentic relating agreement, Lean Into Your Edge. We use these agreements at authentic relating games nights in order to create a container of safety and sort of like level playing field, a container where people know like what the general rules and expectations are, so that way we can all play to the greatest of our ability with each other. So one of our authentic relating agreements is to lean into your edge. And, it's kind of pretty self-explanatory. If the practice of authentic relating really tries to sort of promote a lot more vulnerability, and obviously being vulnerable feels a bit edgy in our mind and body, and we can really sense the tension in our body whenever something's really vulnerable and feeling really edgy for us. And so our desire is for people to sort of lean into that edginess or that sort of anxiety or fear to, a healthy degree, because generally your greatest point of growth is going to be right on the edge. It's kind of like the unknown area. It's that place right outside your comfort zone, where if you just break through the comfort zone and hit that little spot just outside of it, then you're going to make giant leaps in your personal development and in your connections with people. And so with Lean Into Your Edge, we're trying to hit that sweet spot just outside your comfort zone. There are points far outside the comfort zone that are too far that can actually be somewhat traumatizing if you try to lean too hard into it. We kind of compare it leaning into your edge versus jumping off the cliff. We don't want you to jump off the cliff and reveal something so vulnerable that it feels almost traumatizing and that you have a lot of regret around it, and that you're bringing up really, really heavy stuff that maybe the room can't handle or something like that, or that you can't handle in your body by bringing up. We don't want that. We just want you to assess, and generally feeling into your body is going to tell you what is just a small anxiety around sharing or doing, and what is no, heck no, heck no, I cannot do that. And so we want you to honor yourself there, which is another agreement. Probably the next one that I'll get into is honor yourself, by not totally going overboard with a share or whatever it is. But when this is a little edgy, it's a little scary, but I know that if I do this, it could feel really relieving, or it could really help the connection, or it's not so far that even if it fails, there's not a huge drawback to it, or it's not just gonna explode. So just finding that edge where it's just a little bit oof, that's tough, but I can do it. And so we really try to encourage that. And generally when you lean into that edge, that's magic. That's where a lot of the magic happens, and where you start to connect with people super deep. And it's nice because most people feel that edge even in just daily conversation with other people, where we're often testing where the edges are with other people. How much can we communicate? How deep can we go with serious topics in our lives, and things like that. And if you can just keep kind of pushing the edge, you can figure out kind of where that is. And often if you kind of take that sort of leadership role, or whatever you want to call it, you're kind of the pioneer and you're the one who is going to your edge first, then that will give permission for the people you're speaking to feel safe to go to their edge, because the people you're talking to generally don't feel safe going to their edge because they don't know what it's going to be like if they share something really vulnerable with you, how you'll react and all that. But most people want to go there and have that depth. Nearly everybody is craving that. We're craving more with people. We're craving deeper connection. We're craving deeper topics that feel really enlivening for us, and people are just afraid to go there. And so if you're able to train yourself to go there pretty regularly with people, then other people will follow suit. and then not long, you'll find that you're in super rich, deep conversations with people that feel a lot more fulfilling because you were willing to take the first step, go to just outside your comfort zone, and lean into that edge, and just kind of dig a little bit deeper than most people are willing to go. I hope y'all are enjoying the authentic relating advice while I'm sitting here in my home, my little minivan. Give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying the minivan vids. And so you can have different like reminders or something like that help you, whatever helps you. Something that often helps me, like when I'm feeling like there's tension in my body, I'm starting to feel dysregulated a bit, I notice something's coming up for me and I'm getting agitated or something like that. Often what needs to happen is I just need to reveal that. I need to reveal my experience more. I need to take ownership for it and not blame anybody else. Not be like, hey, you just like, I'm feeling angry because you're like telling me I'm not good enough or something like that, or like you're unhappy that I didn't text you the other day and now I feel angry because you expected that of me. That's really like blaming and not taking responsibility or ownership. But if we can just say, hey, I noticed that I'm feeling a lot of tension right now and that it feels really hard for me to share this, it feels really vulnerable, like to reveal my experience right now. But I do notice that there's tension in me and that I feel disconnected from you, and that's not what I want, but it's true. Just sharing the raw experience for yourself like that. And using I statements like that, like I, just like try to almost completely cut out the word you when you are trying to, connect and be vulnerable like this. Just always bring it back to I. And the reason that you want to do that is because often I statements, if you're taking full ownership, like nobody can really argue that. You're just sharing your pure experience right now, and people can't really tell you that you're actually experiencing something else if you're fully owning. If you're starting to project onto them or like blaming them for how you feel, that can be a little bit more argued with and they can get more defensive. But if you just share what's going on in your body, your sensations, your feelings, and all that, they can't really argue with you. And that also generally opens them up to more empathy towards you. And so one thing that I would like to use more often, I don't use it enough, but when I do think of it, it usually instantly feels really helpful for me to share my experiences. Like if I'm kind of caught in an agitated state and I just think like, what would be the vulnerable thing for me to do here? And I guess I just associate that with like, okay, the vulnerable thing for me to do would be to share myself and not blame other people, and really just reveal. It's all about just like revealing what's happening for you. So leaning into that edge, leaning into that vulnerability. And as you get better, like you just get better and sharper with it, and it just becomes more natural for you to lean into your edges, especially when communicating with other people. And for me, a lot of the time it has become kind of like fun and fulfilling to really go there to that edge and share openly with people. And I feel really grateful for the experiences and training that I've had with authentic relating, because it just feels like such a fulfilling practice when I can communicate with people in this way. So I encourage you to lean more into your edge and share more vulnerably, which can be really hard, especially if, you do all the right things and the person still isn't receptive or like, taking you into consideration. It can be really tough. But again, kind of like I talked about in one of my other recent videos, trying to make this practice more about your own self-empowerment and doing these things for you. You're expressing your vulnerability because it's what you need, and not trying to place an expectation or outcome from another person. Placing an expectation for an outcome on another person is generally a pretty sure way to, feel dissatisfied. So really learn to lean into your edge and be vulnerable for yourself in your own empowerment, and knowing that you did all the right things. And, if somebody else just like can't match that over time, it's not your fault. And that you're secure there. All right, thanks for watching. Subscribe and give me a like for more content like this. It's been really fun just sharing these videos so far. I've just made a few and really into it. So let me know what you think, and I'll talk with you in the next one.